Hi and welcome. My name is Raphael. In today's video, I will look at one of the bandhas, the energetic locks, Mula Bandha, the root lock. In the practice of yoga, we are invited to come to our own attention by becoming more aware first maybe of the physical layer of ourselves, the physical body, and then gradually moving more and more inward by way of focusing on the breath. And in another way of bringing the awareness within is by the contraction of muscles. Now, in asanas, by moving from pose to pose, but also at a more subtle layer, again moving within with the application of the different locks. Often in asana practice or in yoga practice, the main energetic locks that we talk about are Mula Bandha, Uddiyana Bandha, and Jaladhara Bandha, and the application of all three of them together being Mahabandha, the great lock. In this video, I will purely talk about Mula Bandha as this quite complex subject. I will do other videos talking about the other bandhas. So in Sanskrit, Mula means root, base, source, and Bandha, lock. It refers to the group of muscles which is at the base of the spine, and basically is the group of muscles that brings together, connects all the bones from the pelvic floor, and also offers supports for our internal organs that allows for them not to fall out of ourselves, which is quite an important job. Energetically, its contraction brings a lot of stability and also energy. Mula Bandha is related to the Muladhara chakra, which is a center of energy at the base of the spine. And Muladhara chakra is connected to Kundalini. This is where I'm not going to go too much into details about this in this video, but just to get explain energetically what the application of Mula Bandha does in the body within us. So it's related to Muladhara chakra, and there sits Kundalini, which is refers to a dormant energy, a potential that we all have within, and through the practice of yoga, we awaken. So being in this area of the body, Mula Bandha, or the activation of Mula Bandha, is very much at the same time grounded and also beginning to awaken and rise the energy within ourselves, which is later on continuing the action with the application of the other bandhas. It can be quite challenging in the beginning to get a sense of what those muscles are. And one of the visualization that quite a lot of people, teacher use in the classes is to use the image of when one needs to go to the bathroom and there are no bathrooms around. So we're having to hold the muscles very tightly in order to prevent ourselves from having to go to the bathroom here and there, which I think is a good image at the beginning to get a sense of where we are talking about. But it's definitely something, Mula Bandha is definitely something more subtle than just this. And it takes practice and consistency to get the energetic feel, right, beyond having to go to the bathroom, about creating that stability within ourselves, within our seated pose, but also within the practice. There's different school of thoughts about the bandhas. Some people believe that they should be practiced only in meditation or pranayama practices, breathing techniques. I also practice them or make use of them in my asana practice because, as I said, it brings a sense of stability and also energy and stamina during the practice. So, but for today, for the purpose of this video, I will guide seated. So find a comfortable seated position It could be cross-legged, it could be kneeling down, either like I'm seated or with the ankles crossed, whatever is comfortable for you. I do always invite to use a form of support, a pillow or a block or whatever you have. And especially in the practice of Mula Bandha, it might actually help with the contraction of those muscles, finding the contraction, having this surface below the pelvis, below the hips. Once you found a comfortable seat, place your hands onto your knees or your lap and sit up tall. Gently close your eyes. Bring your inner gaze to the base of your spine, of the pelvic floor. This group of muscles between the genital organs and the anus. Bringing your awareness there, and perhaps already feeling rooted, grounded by just bringing your awareness at the base of your spine. And once you have your full awareness in the pelvic floor muscles, simply contract and release a few times, without incorporating the breath with the movement, just concentrating on the contraction and the release of those muscles. Noticing where you'll feel the contraction the most. The pelvic floor and the pelvis is quite a complex area of muscles, tendons, ligaments, and nerves. So it might be very subtle to begin with. But noticing if you're feeling the contraction maybe more or at the back, closer to the tailbone, or in the center of the pelvic floor, or in the front, nearer to the pubic bone. Do this a couple more times, contracting and releasing. Completely let go and simply sit in stillness. Paying attention to any sensation, physically, emotionally, your state of mind. Now for moving on in the next part, we will hold the contraction a little bit longer. The bandhas are something to approach with caution because it can bring up some very intense sensation, reactions in the physical body, but also in the emotional body, in your state of being, which is why it's recommended to really take your time with those exercises and not to be too forceful. So now we hold the contraction, but for as long as comfortable for you, and then just letting go. Again, exploring this area of ourselves for a little bit longer. If you need to change the positioning of your legs, go ahead and do so. Sit up tall once again. Bring your gaze within. And again, without the breath, simply focusing on the muscle group for now. And go ahead and begin contracting and holding, maybe for a few seconds, and then releasing. contracting, noticing where you are feeling the contraction the most. Once again, it could be nearer to the coccyx in the center or the pubic bone. And noticing if you also maybe contracting other muscles, mainly in the face, do this a couple more times, holding the contraction for as long as comfortable. Maybe noticing the uplift that happens naturally in the lower back, in the spine, and slowly letting go. Again, giving you time to feel. Definitely bringing the awareness again more within. It's about subtle sensation. And now for the last part, where we will actually connect the movement with the breath. Taking your time again with this. But it's essentially what we do in the breathing practices when we're inhaling and exhaling. And it's often, Mula Bandha is used during the kumbhaka, or the retention of the breath, either in full lungs or on the empty. Something I touched on, or actually guided in the pranayama video, the last pranayama video, without mentioning the bandhas as such. But it's a way of maintaining our energy, the prana, inside of our body, preventing it from escaping it from below, basically, but also inviting again the energy to come up. So for the last part of this video, we will add the breath without any retention, just simply inviting the inhale as we contract, and as we exhale, releasing the contraction of the pelvic floor muscles. So once again, come back to your seated pose with a open chest, a long spine. Noticing your breath without changing it. Then exhale fully. As you inhale, contract the pelvic floor muscles. And exhaling to release. Continue at your own pace, inhaling to contract, maybe feeling the uplift, the contraction of the muscles inward and upward. Exhaling to completely let go. Inhale, contract. Exhale to let go. Do this a few more times. If that feels comfortable, inhale to contract for as long as possible, and exhaling. But without retention, just lengthening the inhalation as much as possible as you keep the contraction, and lengthening the exhalation as you slowly release. Supporting this awareness of all the muscles that make up the pelvic floor by lengthening the inhale, lengthening the time of contraction, and also lengthening the exhale, letting go bit by bit, maybe letting go first the center of the pelvic floor or the front, the back, wherever you're feeling it the most. And do this one more time. And sit in stillness, returning the breath back to its natural rhythm, allowing the pelvic floor muscles to fully relax, no more effort. Only observe and feel. I hope this was of value and helpful in coming aware of this first energetic lock. Like I said, I will speak of others in future videos. Thank you so much for watching. Until next time, take care.